Hey, happy Tuesday. I am testing out StreamYard to see if I like it, to see if I love it, to see if I want some more of it. So I am not 100% that I am going to be using StreamYard, to be quite honest. I am not 100% sure that that's what I'm going to be doing, but we are going to see how it goes. I think tomorrow I'm going to actually pre-record the course content, and then I'm just going to show up in the comments to ask questions, just because I have to get to a place where I have some space for me to record without all the background noise and stuff going on. So I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of people to pop on, see what is happening. Let me go ahead and share this out. I hope you all have had an amazing day. I hope you are doing well. Hope everything is going well for you. All right, let's see. All right, so I am just waiting for a few more people to pop on. Uh-oh, turn your volume down, girl. And while I am waiting, I think this one person is me. So let me get out and then see if the one person stays. Does the one person stay? Nope. Okay. Uh, oh, okay. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad that you are here. Let me go ahead and turn my camera on. Y'all, I am at a hotel, and that is a long story. It don't matter. All right, we are here. Let me go ahead and type in the chat. Hello there. Y'all can let me know that you can hear me, you can see me. I would greatly and wholeheartedly appreciate it. I hope you have had a great day so far. Hope everything is going well for you. Initially, I was gonna let this training be. Why am I getting? Initially, I was gonna let this training be like an hour and a half, but we're really gonna shoot for a good strong hour. Tonight we're gonna shoot for a good strong hour. So, if you could just say hello, let me know who you are, let me know where you're coming from. I am not on YouTube, so I can't see who you are, but if you comment, I think I'll be able to see it. I think I'll be able to see who you are. Hi. Hi Trish. Hey. Y'all let me know if you can see me and hear me. Um I am not going to be before you long. I'm going to be teaching you guys tonight out of my Ultimate Suicide Prevention Guide. This is a suicide prevention book that I wrote. It's the first of its kind, and it is not available right now, but it will be available in March because the new Happy New Year, the new suicide numbers come out in February. So it's going to take me about 2 weeks to update the guide, and then in March um I'll be able to publish a new one. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Tonight we're gonna be talking about why suicide is increasing, um, especially and specifically with believers, with people of God. And when this training is over, you're going to have the opportunity to have what I like to call a confirmation call with me. And a confirmation call is basically a time where we sit down together and talk about your thoughts, your views, or whatever about suicide, suicide prevention, and how we can work together to save lives in 2023 and beyond. I will be posting the link to that in just a second. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and post it so that if you have to leave early or whatever, you can just go to that website and schedule your call with me so that we can get a little confirmation and clarity about how we should move forward in 2023 and beyond when it comes to that. All right, so the first thing that I want to tell you, if you got an email from me, if you're on my email list, you saw that I talked about how 1,667 more people died by suicide in 2021 than in 2020. And a lot of people don't realize that when life goes back to normal, a lot of people are oftentimes very hesitant to even want to go back to their normal lives because of the comfort that they had. You know, as scary as the pandemic was and as much stuff happened, it was still a very insulated time for people. People who were in abusive relationships found a way to escape. People going to abusive ministries didn't have to worry about going. You know what I'm saying? There was all of this stuff happening that was insulating people from toxic workplaces and toxic office environments and toxic things. And so when that kind of ended, because people try to, pretend that the pandemic was over, even though we all know that it's still not over, right? A lot of stuff picked back up and people were not able to hang. And then the other thing that happened that a lot of people don't talk about is long COVID. So what does that mean? That means that there are people who got COVID in 2020 who are still suffering the symptoms in 2021. And so when you add things like that together, it causes a lot of unresolved pain. It causes a lot of things to happen that people aren't able to deal with and to handle, right? And so what we're finding is that the numbers, instead of decreasing in 2019, they decreased in 2020. Of course, they decreased because everybody was at home and COVID rose and the fentanyl rose and all of that stuff rose. But in 2021, the numbers went back down. So I'm gonna go over the numbers that I think are the most important for us to realize and talk about tonight. And then I'm gonna tell you why this is important if you are someone who is a faith-based leader. right? Because I think a lot of times we know that we're supposed to nurture people. We know that we're supposed to watch over people's souls. We know that we're supposed to encourage people and empower people and do all of these things, but we don't always remember that we have a responsibility to keep people safe and protected. We have a responsibility to be a hedge of protection around people. And so the first thing that I want to tell you is that statistics show that 130 people die by suicide every day. 130 people in America die by suicide every day. And this is important because these aren't just numbers and statistics, right? These are people. These are people in our neighborhoods. These are people in our churches. These are people that we come in contact with. Public transportation. These are our school teachers. Sorry. These are our school teachers. These are like all kinds of people, right? Like normal people. These are our elderly, our older adults. And so, yeah, I am so sorry. I'm gonna have to re-record this because I don't even know like what's going on. This has never happened before. But anyway, these are like all types of people, that we come in contact with on a regular basis. And so when you think about what is happening in the world and you think about why suicide is so high and why suicide is so rampant, here's the thing. A lot of people in today's society have a bleak outlook on life. And they have a bleak outlook on life because we have moved into such an individualistic society that people do not feel supported. I remember when Twitch died, and there was all of this talk about check on your strong friend, and all of this talk about, you know, he looked so happy. He seemed so happy. So let's break that down. Let's break those two things down. The first thing we're going to break down is check on your strong friend. Okay, so me, for example, I'm one of the strongest people that most people in my circle would ever meet, right? But people don't, I'm not going to say people don't check on me because, of course, people do. But when the check on your strong friend craze happens every time somebody kills themselves, I'm never one of the people that most people check on because people just assume that I'm okay, right? But let's say you did check on me, right? So you check on me and you're like, hey, Nicole, how are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing good. I don't want to be here. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm mad. I'm this. I'm that. You don't know what to say, right? You don't know what to tell me to do. And so now I've poured out my soul before you and I've told you how I really feel. I've told you what's going on with me. And now I'm vulnerable and you're just standing there like, "Oh, well, I pray you feel better. Well, I hope things go better for you." You get what I'm saying? And so we like to say, check on your strong friend, but what foundational principles are we putting in place so that when our strong friend tells us that they don't feel like being strong anymore, we're able to support them? Because if all you're going to do is check on me to make me lay myself bare and tell you what's wrong with you, because either two things you want me to do. You either want me to lie and say that I'm good when I'm not good, which is what most people want you to do, or you want me to tell you the truth about how I feel and how I am, but you don't have anything in place to help support. This is the devil. You don't have anything in place to help support me, to make me better, or to help me to be better, to help me to thrive, right? And so now you've checked on me and I'm either in the position of having to lie and feel uncomfortable and just say I'm okay when I'm not, or now I've told you and you don't know what to do, and so now I feel like I've burdened you with my issue that you don't know how to solve, right? And then the second thing that I want to talk about is the he seemed so happy. So whenever somebody dies by suicide, the first thing we like to do is go back to the last few days, few weeks, few months of their life to try to see if we can see any signs, right? And what we often say is, "Oh my God, they look so happy." How else were they supposed to look? We don't live in a society that allows people to be truthful about how they really feel. We don't live in a society that allows people to be honest about how they really are. So, most people who are suicidal, most people who take their lives are going to seem fine because that is the only way that people can be. If I get on social media right now as a suicide prevention solutionist, as somebody who has been working in this field for over 10 years, and I'm honest about my mental health on a low mental health day, I guarantee you somebody is going to criticize me. I guarantee you somebody is going to inbox me and say, "You shouldn't talk like that." I guarantee you somebody is going to say to me, "You need to trust God." And the thing is, we know that, right? But we need space to be able to speak and to be able to process and to be able to unload or offload, if you will, how it is that we feel. And that is not something that is allotted to people in our society. And so, because of that, people go as far as they can go until they can't go any further. And when they decide to take their lives, it's not necessarily because they feel like, oh, I want to die. It's because they want the record in their head to stop playing. It's because they want the track that is going over and over and over in their brain to stop playing. It is because they want the pain that they feel in their heart and in their soul to stop hurting. It's not always because they want to die, and 9 times out of 10, that's not what it is. We are dealing with children who spend the majority of their waking hours that they're not in school on video games, killing people, on video games, shooting guns, on video games, disregarding and devaluing life, right? So, what does that do? What does that cause? That causes them to be desensitized towards life, right? Now, if you spend your time being mentally conditioned to be desensitized towards everybody else's life, don't you think that's going to cause you to be desensitized about your life too? So, the resilience that you would have, the resilience that you would be able to pull on in times of trouble, in times of calamity, in times of upset, you don't have that because life doesn't mean to you what it means to someone who does not engage in those activities or someone who engages in those activities in moderation, right? Life doesn't mean the same to you. And so we have a whole generation of children who are growing up and life doesn't mean the same to them. So when they hit a roadblock, when they hit something that they've never encountered before, and they don't have the lived experience to know that this too shall pass, to them, they're at the end of their rope. And dying isn't really as final to them as it is to me because every experience they've had with dying, the person respawns, the person gets up again, the person comes back. And so we are living in a time where the sensitivity to life and to humanity isn't always there. And what you're going to see is that people are going to get tired of playing the game of life. I survived COVID, now I got long COVID. I've been working at my job and then I got a higher paying job and now I hate it and now I'm laid off. I couldn't afford my groceries and now eggs are $5 and now I'm not going to get enough on my taxes. I used to do Instacart and it was amazing, but now it's too many shoppers. So now where I used to make $200 a day, I'm lucky if I make $20 a day. This is the stuff that we have going on. And most of the reasons that people are killing themselves is not because they are just sad in their spirit, not because they're just sad in their heart, but because people are tired of this life. People are tired of the struggle. People are tired of not being able to make ends meet. People are tired, right? And so what we are seeing is that people don't have the mechanisms. It's kind of like when people say, when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on. Well, what are you supposed to do if you don't have enough strength to tie a knot? What are you supposed to do when your rope is so raggedy that it won't tie? What do you do then, right? And so we are in a dire place in our society because rugged individualism is not the way that we were designed to exist. If you are black, if you are brown, if you are indigenous, if you are non-European, okay, you are tribal people, okay? Not only are we tribal people, but we are matriarchal tribal people. Patriarchy is not um, um, the way that our ancient societies operated. And as much as we live under patriarchy today, if you think about it, that model is not modeled in our families. I'm going to tell you how I know. Granddaddy can die in 1991 and the family gonna have a family reunion, a Christmas get together, a Thanksgiving get together, all the way up until 2022. But if Big Mama dies in 2022, that family done been together ever since 1991 and before then. But when Big Mama dies, the whole family falls apart because we are tribal and matriarchal in nature, right? So now we exist in a world where parents are saying, you got to get out of my house because you're 18. You got to figure it out. I had to figure it out, so you got to figure it out. We don't have villages raising children anymore. So the communal element of our lives, the tribal nature of how we grew up and how we were, our society today has lost that, right? And so the way that we used to rally around the people, the way that the strong really did used to bear the infirmities of the weak, we don't have that anymore. There's nobody bearing our burdens. I remember going to church and we would not leave until we knew that everybody had a ride home. And now we go to churches where pastors will stand up and say, where's my $300 pastor's anniversary offering? And not even knowing if the people they're asking the money from even have food in their refrigerator because we live in such an individualistic society. And so, one of the mandates that God has on my life in 2023 is to express and to teach and to train on the importance of community. If you are in the Love Bridge, you know that on Thursday, we are doing a preparedness training. And what that means is that we are going to walk through how to do a preparedness plan for your family, for your household, so that you can in turn sit down with the people in your ministry, the people in your business, the people in your company, the people wherever they are, wherever you have influence, wherever your circle is, and go through the plan with them and teach them how to implement it so that we can learn how to rally around each other. That's why the people are jumping off the bridges because in their mind, nobody cares anyway. In their mind, this $700 bill that I have to pay is sadly worth my life because who can I ask for $700? Not knowing that there's so many resources and so many people and so many companies that will come alongside you and help you, right? But because we don't step outside of who we are and what we have going on long enough to figure out how to help somebody else. People don't know the help is available to them. People don't know that there are people that are still paying people's rent and light bills. People don't know about crowdfunding. People don't know about community gardens. People don't know that there are people in Facebook groups who sell eggs. People don't know that because we aren't a generation, aren't a people, aren't a society of resourcefulness. We're not a society of communal support. And if you don't hear anything else that I'm saying today, I want you to understand that you have a responsibility to foster community. Now, I am not a fan of today's church at all. I'm not. But I think we have a unique opportunity to change the trajectory of society and to change the culture of church as we know it by creating a culture of care. Bible says that what made the church of Acts so important and so special and so wonderful is that they had all things common. When I grew up, the plumber was in the neighborhood. The police were from the neighborhood. The people that looked out for us were from the church. The people that we had sleepovers with, we had sleepovers at the church. They called them lock-ins. And every few months, we had a lock-in because we had to learn how to foster community and sisterhood among the people of the faith, among the people that we saw every Sunday and every Wednesday, right? God is presenting us with a unique opportunity to create a culture of care, not just me caring about what you do at church, not just me caring about whether you lift your hands or not just me caring about what you have on and where you're going and what you're doing and what you post on Facebook. But can I care enough about you to not just say, hey, sis, just checking on you, hope you're doing well? Because to me, if you say that to me, though it's well intended, and I'm not doing well, do I want to disappoint you and say I'm not doing well? Do I want to feel like I'm putting you in a negative situation or laying my burdens on you by telling you that actually I'm not doing well? I hope y'all are hearing me. And so learning how to say, hey, honestly, how are you really doing? And then knowing how to help people through whatever it is that they say. And if you're in the Love Bridge, I'm big on that. Open up the Heartbeat app, click on the Communal Support Hub, type in there what the person's problem is, and text something to their phone. Actually, on the 17th, which is a week from today, I have scripts that are coming out in the Love Bridge where if someone is going through a particular situation, you'll be able to search for that situation and find actual scripts and things that you can say to uplift the person's spirit. Because it'll mean a lot more coming from you than it ever would coming from me, right? And one of the ways that we are able to uplift ourselves is to help uplift other people. One of the ways that we are able to save people's lives is to have on their mind, so and so checked on me today. And if nobody else in the world cares whether or not I live or die, I know that they do. And sometimes that's all people need. If you've ever heard the story of Kevin Hines, and this is the last thing that I'm going to tell you tonight, because tonight is all about planting the seed. Tonight is all about letting you know that people are not dying just because they're clinically depressed. People are dying because they have real situations going on and they don't feel supported. They don't feel loved. They don't feel cared about. They feel like as long as you see me posting on social media, nobody really cares how I'm doing, right? So tomorrow, we're going to talk about what you can do this week to support your community. We're going to talk about real, tangible things you can do this week right here. Not the stuff that I told you before, the social media check ins and all that stuff. We're digging deeper. We're going to be talking about sitting down and asking God to put people on your mind. My godmother lost her husband. My godmother is 76 years old. Her husband started pursuing her when she was 14. That means that she was with this man for 62 years of her life. And today I was sitting on my bed and God picked me up and said, "Call your godmother." And I called her, she didn't answer the phone. Normally when people call me, I mean when people they'll answer the phone, they ain't answer the phone, ain't leave no message. Baby, misconnection. The flight did not connect. We not on the plane. But today, God was like, text her. So I text her. And I was like, "Hey, God, mama, I'm praying for you. I love you, blah, blah, blah." So she texted me back and she said, "Hey, I saw that you called. When you called, I was having a really bad moment. And I know it's going to get better, but I just, it's just a lot." And she was like, "Please don't give up on me. Please keep reaching out to me. I love you." And I said, wow, even in her not wanting to pick up the phone, even in her being in such a low place that she did not want to pick up her phone and talk to me, she still wants me to reach out to her. Not so that she can ignore my call and be like, "I ain't got time for Nicole," but because she wants to know that somebody cares about her. She wants to know that even in the midst of her grief, even in the midst of her losing the person she loved more than anyone else in this world, she still matters to somebody. And when I tell you, that right there is what it is. People are killing themselves because they don't think they matter to anybody. People think that love that they receive is obligatory. Well, you just love me because you my mama. You just love me because we go to the same church. You just love me because we work together. But if anything changes, if my identity changes, if I can't be who I used to be to you, if I don't fit the mold anymore, a lot of times the love goes away. The love isn't the same. I'm dealing with that right now in my personal life. People who I thought would rock with me, would ride with me, would roll with me, baby, nowhere to be found. Nowhere. And I'm like, "God, thank you that I have built a community around myself. Thank you that I have people in my life who care about me beyond my conformance." Or I would be back on the bridge like I was in Arkansas in 2021. I would be back in the lows like I was in September of 2021, like I was in March of 2022. Had I not done the work to ensure that I was always insulated and always surrounded and always protected. Let me get to Kevin Hines and then I'm going to let you go. Kevin Hines was walking on the Golden Gate Bridge. He wanted to kill himself, and he said to himself, "If one person will stop and ask me how I'm doing, I won't jump off the bridge." Kevin Hines walked up and down that bridge waiting for someone to check on him, and a woman walked up to him and flagged him down. He was crying, and she said to him, "Can you take a picture of me and my friend?" Tears in his eyes, he took the picture of the lady and her friend. He walked over to the ledge and he jumped off the bridge. Thankfully, he survived, and now he's a wonderful suicide prevention person, and we thank God for him. But there are so many people who have that same experience and that same testimony who did not make it. 1,667 more people in 2021 have that story than had it in 2020. Because when we went into isolation, it sealed us into a place that is unnatural. It locked us into a way of life that is unnatural. And I know it's unnatural because the first sign of being suicidal pre-COVID was isolation. That's how you knew somebody was depressed or suicidal when they isolated themselves. Well, now isolating ourselves is what we do because we don't want to die from the roro, and I understand. But what I'm telling you is that even in our isolation, Even in our waiting for the calamity to pass, even in all that we are doing to protect ourselves, we have to create. That means it's not there. We have to create a culture of care in this new digital world. Because some people not coming back to church. But when you post the birthdays on the screen, do you include their birthday? When you reach out to people, do you reach out to them? When you talk about membership anniversaries, you include theirs? When you're in church, do you shout them out? Do you shout out the older adults who are fearful that if they come to church, they may get the Roro and die? Do you care about the people who used to give, but now they ain't really got it like that? Do you care about the people who are introverted, who love God? They just don't scream because they're introverted. It's a thing. Being introverted is a thing. Not being loud is a thing. Do you care enough about them to see if there's other ways that they may want to express their praise and worship to God? Maybe they want to dance. Maybe they want to be on the media team. Maybe they just want to sit there and marvel at the wonders of the Lord to themselves. Do you care enough about people to step out of how you think they should be and understand how they are? Do you care enough about people to do that? People are dying because not many people care enough. That's it. Yeah, the stuff is high. It is. The stuff is high. Okay? But if you get a group of people, you get a group of 20 people, and every person in the group puts in $10. That's $200. $200. Then you on YouTube and you find all the videos of people who can feed a family of five on $50 a week. So you find the video where a person can feed a family of five for $50 a week. You got $200. That's four families that you're able to feed in a week, and everybody just put in $10. Like it's not rocket science. It's culture. It's a paradigm shift. It's understanding the times that we're in and understanding that the help that we used to have, we don't have it and we don't know if we ever will. We don't know if we ever will. And so what are we doing to create a culture of care in our communities? That's what I want to leave you with. Tonight is all about getting you thinking. Who can I help? Who can I be more present for? Who in my family has gone through a turbulent and tumultuous time in 2022 who can need more assistance in 2023? Who have I heard my family complaining about their kids? Can I get their kids for a day? Can I help with homework? Can I buy them a basketball? Can I go to Wendy's and get the little frosty card so every time they get a 4 for 4, they can get a frosty? Can I send flowers? Can I go over there and help with the laundry? Can I clean the kitchen once a week? Y'all think stuff gotta be, I gotta pay your mortgage. Baby, some people just want their kitchen floor swept. Some people just want the leaves raked. Some people just wish they could just have their car washed. And it's the little things like that that keep people from jumping off bridges. It's the little things like that that keep people from feeling like nobody cares anything about them. And so my prayer is that as you rest tonight and as we get ready for tomorrow's training, that God will begin to illuminate to you the ways that you can show up for the people around you, the ways that you can be who God is to those people because God works through people. God didn't redeem the world with a word. He created it with a word, but when it was time to redeem it, he sent a person. Redemption comes through people. Reconciliation comes through people. Restoration comes through people. So I hope and pray that you are blessed by tonight's introduction. I'm gonna record this over, child, because the background noise. But I'm I'm gonna get up in the morning and I'm probably gonna go to the studio and record this over and re-upload it. I decided that I'm not going to sell the replays. I'm gonna leave the replays up um, on YouTube so that I can direct people to the replays um, at later dates and times. But I hope you enjoyed tonight. I hope God is speaking to you even now. And yeah, I hope you have a great night. I am going to be going more in depth as the week goes on about what I'm offering and why I think this next level of partnership is so important. I posted the link for if you want to set up your call, but I'm going to say more about that tomorrow. Thank you, Trish. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I am going to leave that link up. I'm going to send an email out in the morning, kind of recapping everything after I do the re-recording. I'm probably going to like get this transcribed so I can just kind of have some notes to go by. But thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful, powerful night. I hope you're able to join me tomorrow at noon. If you're not, it'll be recorded. It'll be on my YouTube. And so have an amazing night. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. Talk to you soon.